Hello, Super Relaxed Fantasy Club. This is
Samuel Rose.
This is not my bookshelf back here. This is my headrest bookshelf. But let's take a look at some of the crap that's up here. Some of these things are from travels and you know, there's a reason why I'm filming this in bed. I've refractured my spine, and so, I mean, it's not funny, but it kind of is. I do a lot of meticulous research in my books, which are more science fiction and magical realism. But anyway, the spinal injury shows up in the books, and you know, I had to get it pitch perfect, right? So, but yeah, I've got a lot of. You'll see that a lot of Mesoamerican shamanism shows up in my writing, and books like this. This is Carlos Castaneda's The Second Ring of Power. Highly recommended, but read it during daylight hours. And yeah, you'll see a lot of Carlos Castaneda stuff here, and related quote unquote Toltec type of books. Return of the Warriors by Teyun Marez, The Power Path. These all speak of a certain type of shamanism slash sorcery that is more dedicated to understanding existence, you know. And then I've got some of Tony Hillerman's books, which are amazing. They are more like murder mysteries, Native American style, set on you know, reservations or around the Four Corners area, kind of a Western murder mystery sort of deal. Some science fiction like Connie Willis. This is a signed copy, by the way. You know, you always got to get signed copies, am I right? And let's see, what else do we have going on here? Let's see. Certainly some Salman Rushdie, which is a magical realism style that I learned from him. A lot of my I don't know if I learned from him because I've been writing long before I even read his books, but it certainly is similar to his, and I have learned from him also. Sorcerer's Crossing, another Toltec style book. Religions of Mesoamerica. This is a book I've picked up in my travels in the Mayan world. People of the Red Earth. Yeah, lots of interesting. Spanish. You can never have enough Spanish dictionaries. Carlos Castaneda. Now, there are a few of these old books running around here, too, that are very interesting. Check this out. Favorite Poems of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. So, yeah, I have some culture also. How about that? But, here's one for you. Look over here. See that book down at the base of the door there? It's a set of 3 books, actually. I've been using that as a doorstop for the longest time. I picked this up in one of my travels, and this is a funny story. Compendium Ishkaret. Here we go. And by Yuri V. Norizov. And anyway, he's one of the guys who helped decode the Mayan language. And fascinating book here, by the way. But, you know, I was looking looking around the other day, and it turns out this set of books runs for, it's a collector's item, it turns out, and it runs for like $500 these days. So I decided to not use it for a doorstop anymore. So that goes. But anyway, so that's my bookshelf in a nutshell. My book series, I'm just getting ready to drop the first half of the 6th book here in just the next couple of weeks. It's going to get published and self-published. And I'm looking for a traditional publisher to carry all the books. So though you'll see the books on Amazon, they're not available for purchase. Other writers will appreciate why I would do that. And also, it's very annoying. I've looked at some of these other Super Relaxed Fantasy Club videos, and I see some people manage to publish their large books, which is encouraging. Most publishers, right, they want them to be 80 to 100,000 words. And so, like, my series is 8 books long. It's 8 books. That's what the story is, 8 books. I'm at book number 6. But in order to court the publishers and whatnot, I had to split book number 6 into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So there's actually going to be more than 8 books, but they're going to be numbered for 8. And it's an epic. It's an epic story. It definitely has the Toltec influence to it, and it's basically a redefining of the context of existence, and it has wolves, so that's pretty cool. It's I've also written some other stories over the years, but this has been the focus for a long time. But I wrote a great short story called The Jesus Gambit. I wrote it in 1999 and revised it a few times, once in 2000 and I think again in 2012 for each time the world was supposed to end according to the Mayan calendar, right? Like 2000, and then what was it, 2001 was the revamp, and then there was a 2012 revamp. So my revamping followed that, and it basically was aliens using the return of Jesus as a subterfuge to hide their invasion force. And you can see this story. It got published by the website Ibn Qutayba, IBNQIRTAIBA, which is the publishing arm of Australia's Mensa group. And they went nuts over it, and they even commissioned an artist to do a cover image for the story. Now their website, their literary website's no longer operating, but you can find the archives, and I think it's in edition 56 and 57. They split it into 2 parts. So it's called the Jesus Gambit, and it's written under the pseudonym of Bernt Olafsson. So it's a good read. I mention that because these days in the sci-fi world, like on TikTok, and more in the conspiracy world, I guess you could say, you see a lot of TikToks about Project Moonbeam. And I haven't seen any dated references. Well, I've seen references to the origin of Project Moonbeam being before 1999, but I haven't seen any cited proof of that. I just see people say that it came about before, like the mid-90s. But I have proof that my story was written in 1999. And the thing is, my story, it reads like Project Bluebeam. And so I kind of wonder if I Forrest Gumped it and influenced society while I'm just running along doing my stupid thing called life and didn't know it, you know. So I kind of wonder if I got the ball rolling as far as Project Bluebeam goes. But let's see. Then I've had some technical articles published in Mac Tech magazine and Radio Electronics. I actually was the guy who invented the first computer-controlled hemisync generator. And some of you might be aware of Robert Monroe and the Monroe Institute, who developed technology called hemisync signals for tricking the brain basically into following certain wave patterns that induce altered states of consciousness. And I made a computer-controlled version of that. Now, he wrote some books on it, and the CIA actually has used the research significantly for remote viewing type of research, and there are declassified documents for real on the internet from the CIA using the Robert Monroe technology and the gateway process. So that's an assignment for you to go Google. And actually, I have the prototype card for the hemisync generator running around here. It's not on my headboard. But, and then another literary magazine called Far Cry published an excerpt from my books last year. So that was really exciting. This book series started as a 3-book series in the 80s. In the 80s, right? From the 20th century, 1980s. Mid-80s. It was called The Deadly Caretakers. And I have it sitting in a box, those unpublished manuscripts, by my desk in my office. And right now, as a reminder of the roots of this series and how long it's been in process. And here in book 6, its subtitle is The Deadly Caretakers. So, we're finally starting to close the loop on the whole series. And books 7 and 8 likely will probably be broken into 2 parts also, depending on the silliness of publishers and whatnot. But it's such a exciting thing for me to be getting this close to finally finishing this amazing series that has possessed a large portion of my life. And with that, I will close here. It's nice chatting with you all, and thank you for taking the time to enjoy my headboard bookshelves.